add to stream. Hey, you guys. I swear, tech is going to kill me. It's going to kill me, you guys. I don't know if you were able to hear the audio that I just started, but that one was totally on me. Hold on, let me get myself situated. So, hi, welcome, Dawn Klevesahl. Having tons of tech issues this week, but you know what? We soldier on. So, yesterday, on day one, we talked about the reasons why business owners, and maybe you yourself are experiencing this, why we treat the business like it's a piggy bank. And I really feel like it comes from love. I think there's a lot of love involved in that. I think that we create this thing and it's our baby and we are so close to it that sometimes we don't see that we're not giving it the room that it needs to be a business on its own, but because we're taking all of the money out of the business and using it, or we're not honoring ourselves, which is something that we're going to talk about today, by actually paying out the way that we should be paying out, and rather we're reinvesting into the business. So yesterday I asked you to review the records and add up the total that you paid to yourself, and answer the poll. So the poll went up last night, so if you haven't had a chance to yet, go in, and I want to know like about how many transactions did you find? Where were you looking at? Was it 1 to 10? Was it 11 to 20? Was it way more than that? Transactions that you found where you were actually diving into the business account and pulling money out to pay for personal things. That's something that we really want to end if we're going to manage your cash flow and make sure that you have the money to run your business and that the business itself has money to run itself. That's so important. And that's really where this cash flow comes in to play. You really want to have a handle on it. It makes your life a lot easier. You're less stressed out because you know exactly where all of your money is going. So if you haven't had a chance to do that, go ahead and jump over there, do the survey, and let us know, what did you find? Was it really bad? Was it not so bad? How did you feel like you did in that regard? The other thing that I asked you to do is to add up that total, because that total is going to be really important for what we're talking about today. Today, we're talking identifying your best employee first and foremost, and then we're going to talk about the plan to pay them. Now, if you've heard any of my other talks, or if you are been following along today, you probably realize that what I'm going to say is that your best employee is you. You're not going to find anyone else who's going to be as invested in your business being successful as you are. Now, I know for a lot of us, especially in the beginning, that means you're in there and you're doing everything. But I want you to pay special attention to your accounting in this stage of your business, because as you probably know, I think it's more than 50% of businesses fail in their first 5 years. And Mike, the author of Profit First, likes to say, and those are the lucky ones, because there's a really good chance if you're already made it 5 years and maybe you're struggling at that point, there's a really good chance that you are not going to be successful because you haven't paid attention to where that money is flowing. It's so important. What I see a lot is people are reinvesting. That's like a really fancy word. That means that you're not paying yourself. And I want you to get to the point where the business pays you, but also runs smoothly and successfully. And a lot of the issues that we have around whether we're charging enough and things like that come from this not understanding where our money is supposed to be flowing. So one of the things that really was like an aha moment for me when I had a client ask about this Profit First. I had no idea. 3 years ago, I didn't know what Profit First was. When this client asked me to look into it and I read the book, I was like, well, there you go. This is the missing piece. This is the missing piece that every business has. I've been working in this industry for over 20 years, had my own business for 13 years, and what I see are people making the same mistakes. And it is very simple, but we get so caught up in what we're doing in our day-to-day that we don't want to take the time to look at it. Or if you are accounting phobic, you may not even want to think about it, right? But let me tell you, it better be you or better be a family member or the trusted family member, somebody doing that part of your business, because it needs to get done. And it doesn't just need to get your items recorded, because one of the things that I noticed in doing accounting, I could do everyone's accounting so that it's absolutely perfect, give them all the reports, and they're still struggling. But they're struggling because of the cash flow. And that's when, like I said, I had this aha moment with Mike's plan, because he makes it so easy. You open your bank accounts, you create, you calculate your percentages, you put a certain amount in, easy peasy. But again, a lot of people don't want to give themselves the time that it takes to really get a good accounting plan in place, to get your cash flow in place. It's just as important as going out and talking to clients. It's just as important as all of the business things that you're doing that you get this done. Now, who's your best employee? Again, it's you. It's you because you care the most. And especially in the early stages of your business, you're going to be doing most of the work. If you read his book, there is a chart here where it gives the revenue ranges. Now, the revenue ranges, this is really just to give you an idea of whether or not you're doing well in your business. This is the instant assessment that we do as part of introducing Profit First people. The reason I'm mentioning it is because I just wanted to point out, like some people will notice, as your business makes more money, hopefully you guys can see this, but as your business makes more money, the owner's compensation goes down. And the reason that the owner's compensation goes down is because your participation in the business as the one doing everything will go down. So I just wanted to point that out because as your best employee, you need to start making sure that you're getting paid. And if you're paying yourself zero right now, but did the exercise yesterday and found that there are places where you are pulling money out of the company, then you are paying yourself. But I know almost every business owner that's in that situation has told me, I don't ever pay myself. And it's true. You're not paying yourself a paycheck, but you're paying yourself because you're taking the money out of the business to pay for the things that you need to run in your life. So I really want you to make this change in thinking and just say, okay, instead of taking that money out as I need it as the month's going on, I just figured out how much I need. Let's take that a step further. How much I'm taking already is pretty much how much you're needing, right? Let's take that a step further and let's make that the amount I actually pay myself on purpose. And this is really important, you guys. You need to pay yourself on purpose. And again, it may not be some huge amount. It may not be what the salary was at the last, 9-to-5 job that you had. It's not going to be that starting out. That's also one of the things I wanted to point out. Do not use this chart in the book. Do not use these percentages as your percentages. These are not for you. These are, like I said, just to figure out where you could do better. When you do the assessment, it tells you whether you need to increase or decrease in certain areas. That is all that chart is made to do. This chart is not for you to run your business. Really need to take it a step further. We're kind of doing one of those steps for you today. The step further, when I say that, is to actually look at your own history. And I'm not sure if I said this or not last time, but really looking at it 12 months is really the best way to get started. You can look at a 12-month period. It gives you a really good idea of how much income tends to come in and how much goes out for your profit. Probably nothing at this point. Your owner's pay, maybe something, or maybe you had to take this little deeper dive into your accounting to figure out that you were paying yourself something. So that is that amount. The tax amount, maybe the business has not been paying the taxes. Maybe you've been paying that personally, so that amount would be zero. And then your operating expenses. So for instance, if you were to try to use this chart from the book for the $0 to $250,000 range, what you would discover is that you're supposed to be running your operating expenses at 30%. 30%, that's really lean. And if you have been running at 89%, you cannot jump to 30%. It's not going to happen for you. And we don't want it to. We want you to start where you are. And over the course of each quarter, we make adjustments so that you can get where you need to be. So if you've already taken that amount, if you've calculated that amount that we talked about, what I want you to do is divide that number by the amount of your revenue that you had over that course, over that time period. So whichever time period you took, I want you to divide that, and then you're going to end up with a percentage. And that is the percentage that you're going to use for your income. Now, if you want to take it a step further and really start building up some money in there, I would add 1% to that amount. What that allows you to do is have some money building up in there and still plan on paying yourself the amount that you were taking, whatever that average came out to be, then leave the rest in that account so that there's money if something happens down the line. So say it was $1,000 that you figured out you're already taking from the company that you're able to put towards your owner's pay. Maybe you put $1,100 in there from your income, but you don't pay yourself that extra $100, that $100 stays. So in 12 months, you have money sitting in there. That's what I want you to do. So that is going to be your homework for today. So your homework is going to be to take that number that we came up with yesterday. You're going to divide that by your real revenue to come up with the amount that you are currently paying yourself, what that percentage is. The reason I say percentage over amount in this instant is because when you get your next income coming in, you want to take a percentage of that. It's going to be the percentage that you came up with. It's not always going to be like $1,000, right? Because maybe you made more, maybe you made less this month. But by having the percentage, you know how much exactly to pay yourself. So say it was 5%, then you know exactly if it's $1,000 of income that came in, or if it's $500 of income came in, you can use that 5% to figure out exactly how much goes to you and goes into that account that you have set up for your owner's pay. So that's your homework. Take that number, use it to come up with this number. And I'll post a post in the Facebook group just to remind you that that is what you're supposed to be doing, especially if you're getting caught up, because we had a little bit of tech issues. And again, this morning, so I apologize for that. This afternoon, I will be doing the day 3 that was supposed to happen today at 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And what we're going to be talking about is your business needing a life of its own, and whether or not you're willing to give it the space to grow. And so that will be our conversation at 2 o'clock today. Thank you for being here this morning. I appreciate it. And if you're watching on the replay, you can comment on the replay. I will also respond and let you know any answers to your questions that you have. So thanks again for being here. Talk to you soon. Bye.